The weather's getting cooler, Formula One is back, and we can guarantee to see that mullet and mustache combo from Bottas next year on the grid. My name is John, the Motorsports Enthusiast, and welcome to Track Limits here on ATYL Media. We're talking about everything Dutch GP. Let's get into it. Formula One heads to the Netherlands to Zandvoort, which has been Max Verstappen's kingdom until Lando Norris knocked him off the throne last year. First, let's dive into the weekend schedule. The action starts on Friday, August 29th. Practice 1 starts at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Then Practice 2 is at a bright and early 10 a.m. And then you have Practice 3 on Saturday, August 30th at 5:30 in the morning. Then you have qualifying at 9 a.m. that same day. And then the Dutch GP Sunday, August 31st at 9 a.m. Now let's talk about the circuit itself. Zandvoort has 14 corners and it's 4.259 kilometers long or 2.65 miles long. And the race will be 72 laps. Now the circuit itself has some very cool history. Built in 1948, the post-war racing boom just took over, and this track has been a part of racing ever since. It originally had permanent sections of the circuit and mixed it with public roads. And this track is described as essentially being a roller coaster kind of track. The elevation change is significant here. It flows very much through the hills, through the Netherlands, and it's a pretty awesome track. Now, this circuit has 2 DRS detection points. The first being between turns 9 and 10, and the second being between turns 12 and 13. And the first DRS activation zone is between turns 10 and turn 11, and the second DRS activation zone is on the exit of 13 all the way through 14, all the way into turn 1. Now let's talk about the weather, and we've seen weather play a major role into many races this year. So Friday, it looks like it's going to be about a 50-50 shot of rain, and the temperatures are going to be in the low to mid 60s throughout the entire weekend. Now, when we go to Saturday and Sunday, the rain decreases to 25% for both Saturday and Sunday, but that lasts through the entire day. So really, it could happen at any point. We could see a pop-up shower on one portion of the track where it's dry on the other, which we've seen this year, and drivers and strategists, I would not want to be them in that situation. Now let's talk about some storylines going into this weekend. So the McLaren boys, Piastri and Norris, still leading the pack, still at the head of everybody else. Oscar Piastri currently leads Lando by 9 points. Now Lando's going to try to get another victory here, but Piastri doing all he can to keep that champ lead. Norris did just win in Hungary, and he did win this race last year, so maybe Norris can bring something and beat his teammate. Then there's Max Verstappen and that whole story. And so Max Verstappen is the king of this track. He won here every race up until last year, and he's dominated in his home track. And I think that dominance is going to continue this weekend. So watch out for Max trying to spoil the papaya party. Now, he hasn't been on the podium in 4 straight races, and he only has 2 wins this year, but this is a part of the season where you could see Red Bull bring a better package and possibly give Verstappen that little bit more of a car that he needs to actually compete and beat the McLarens. Now, the other team we need to talk about is Ferrari. So they're hoping for a big reset after the summer break. They're going into Monza in a week, and looking at Zandvoort, they're hoping to bring something to the track that can at least perform better, at least in Hamilton's perspective. You know, Hamilton's had poor qualifying efforts where Leclerc has been the better car, the better driver, and so Hamilton's growing frustrations there, and so are the team, and so is everybody at Ferrari. So we'll see what happens this weekend if they can bring a cohesive package to the track, but we all know how that goes with strategy. And you never know. Sometimes the summer break is exactly what you need to get your head back on straight and go in the right direction. Now it's time for my prediction. This is my favorite part. I can put my crystal ball together. So looking at this race, looking at who we got McLaren, we have Red Bull, we have Ferrari, and we have Mercedes, the big 4 there. I think the podium is going to be comprised of 3 different manufacturers. Starting off on I'm going to go with my 3rd place pick, George Russell. In these cooler conditions, we've seen the Mercedes work exceptionally well. I think that George Russell will finish 3rd this weekend at Zandvoort. Now, looking at my 2nd place pick and my 1st place pick, I think the 1st place pick is going to run away with it. I think 2nd place is going to somewhat battle for about a third of the race, and then the performance of that first car is going to keep on moving. The driver that I pick for 2nd place on the podium is going to be Max Verstappen. I think they're going to bring him a better car. I haven't seen what the upgrades are yet this early into the week, but I can imagine they've been doing some work behind the scenes at Red Bull to make it more competitive. Plus, it's his home racetrack. I mean, I can't see Max not finishing on the podium here. I predict Max Verstappen to finish 2nd, and then, no surprise to anybody, Oscar Piastri. I'm actually not going to go Lando Norris. I'm going to go Oscar Piastri. I think this weekend we will see another fantastic drive for Oscar. I think we could see him get the pole. I think we could see him lead flag to flag and go and win this race. So Piastri 1, Verstappen 2, Russell 3. That's my podium picks. Let me know your podium picks in the comments. And we also need to talk about the new team that's on the grid that just confirmed their 2 drivers, Valtteri Bottas and Sergio Perez, for Cadillac in 2026. I love the move. I think it makes a lot of sense to bring in those kind of veteran drivers into a new team. Now, the big thing is how well are they going to be able to perform. Don't expect the world. I've seen people that are expecting the world out of these 2 guys and that they're putting their experience over the capabilities of a first-year team. I don't think we will see anything spectacular out of Cadillac in year 1, in year 2, in year 3. I think this is going to take a while to develop, but I'm still excited to see what they can do. Excited to see 22 cars on the grid now and how that's going to work for next season. Who is your pick to win the Dutch GP? I'm going to go Piastri. I'm going to go with my boy Piastri there. Dude's been killing it. And let me know your picks in the comments. And that's going to wrap up today's Dutch GP preview. Make sure to hit that subscribe button right over there so you don't miss any content from anybody here on the ATYL Media channel. Whether it's my content here for Track Limits, whether it's MJ, whether it is Taylor, whether it's Buddy, whether it's Sal, doesn't matter who it is. Make sure to hit that subscribe so you don't miss any content from all the people and all the contributors here at ATYL Media. Make sure to tune into some of our lives as well, where we get Dom in, we get Ben, we get Adam in, and we always love to shoot the stuff. I'm going to keep it PG for all those fans out there. But thanks for tuning in, and as always, I'm going to end my show with my signature. Oh, I have some coffee left. Ciao moment. I'll see you on the next one next week when I cover the GP preview for Monza, but also the recap for the Dutch GP. Ciao.